Hey everyone, it's Mojaxx back in the DJ City UK lab. Today with a couple of quick tips about CDJs and rekordbox. Now I've covered this topic twice before. We did a general tips video and we also did one about the Pro DJ link and how to actually hook all that up together to get the best performance out of it. So if you haven't seen either of those, we'll link to them in the description below. Go and check those out. So the first thing I want to touch on, and this is something that if you've got the hardware, you can kind of experiment with this, you can work it out. But if you don't have the hardware, you're just using the software to prep your files at home, it might take a little bit of understanding. And that is the queuing system, right? We've got effectively all the features of a Serato DJ or Traktor queuing system, but Pioneer DJ have kind of separated it into two areas. So we have hot queues, and all the recent models, you know, XDJs, 2000s and all that, all have hot queues available, different numbers of them, but they've all got them. And these perform in this kind of way. So if I'm queued up, pause, nothing happening, and I hit a hot queue, playback will start. It will jump to that point and it will start. And then we can jump around whilst it's playing to different hot queues. But yeah, when you're paused, hit a hot queue, it will play. And that is of course different behavior from Serato DJ or Traktor. If you hit cue point number 3, for example, in Serato DJ, the playhead will jump to that point, but it will not start playing back. That will just sit there. If you want to do that, so if you want to jump through a track and maybe start from a different point later on, then that's what memory points are for. And we've got 10 memory points, and that is consistent across all the hardware. There's no different numbers of those. You've always got 10 available, and these will allow you to, just jump to a point, and it will queue it there, ready to go, which is nice and smooth. But the thing to keep in mind with those, when he's setting those in the software, is that jumping to a different one and calling up a different memory point will stop playback. This is not a hot queue. You know, again, this is different from Serato or Traktor. It's two different things in here. So I can easily get myself to a point and then get ready to drop it in, but it is different. So the thing that I'm going to recommend to everyone, whenever you set a hot queue, something you want to use for performance, jumping around the track, also hit the memory button either on the players or in the software itself and set that as a memory point as well. You've got 10 memory points to play with. That should be plenty. So every hot queue, also make it a memory point. Now, of course, the beauty of that is as well, if you're using older hardware like CDJ 900s or 850s or something like that, those don't have hot queues, but they do have memory points. So you've still got the ability to navigate quickly through your track. You can't do it on the fly, but if you set every hot queue to be a memory point as well, you've got that ability to do that. Now the second tip is one that's kind of often overlooked, I think. People don't really consider this. You know, if you are playing off a USB stick or something like that, you can get a lot of tracks on there, but you're still limited. You don't have your entire collection. And for some DJs, that's really quite a scary prospect. It's like, okay, what do I do if I get a really important request that I've got to play? How do I cope with it? What do I do in that situation? Well, the way to get around that is to use the Android or iOS rekordbox app that you can have on your phone. Now, it's quite a nice little application, really. You've basically got access to all of your tracks. You can import stuff from your iTunes. So, for example, let's just get one of these Mob Deep tracks, and you import the tracks from your actual music player on your phone, and then you can go in there and load up, and you can actually it will analyze the BPM and the key and everything else for you, and you can set hot cues, you can adjust the grid, all of this can be done on the phone. So you can do everything that's on your phone already. But the other thing as well is you can of course download a track from the iTunes store or from Google Play Music onto your phone and then import that on the fly. So if you've got that really important request, I've got my phone, right, download it in iTunes store, add it to rekordbox, analyzes, BPM is all there. Then all you do is basically connect it up to the CDJs through the USB on the top, as you would with a USB stick. It's now said Pioneer gear is found. You want to connect to Pioneer DJ gears. Some good translation there, but it works. And now it's hooked in. And we've got both players are visible on the screen. And I've got the link. So just hit link. And there's my phone. And I've got all my tracks there. I can go in. Let's get artist, hip hop, Public Enemy. And that's it, it's loaded, it's ready to go, and that will play back perfectly fine. Now you might want to put your phone into Do Not Disturb or airplane mode or something like that, just to be on the safe side. But yeah, there you are. You can play that track as if you've just played it from your regular USB stick. And no one talks about this app and you can load up anything from your phone. You can sit there on the train or the bus or whatever, doing your analysis and your cue points and everything else, your grids. While you've got downtime, you can do that. So you can have a whole kind of library ready to go on your phone. If you've got lots of storage on your phone, have loads of tracks in there. Now you can export to your phone from the rekordbox software like you would with a regular USB stick. But if you do that, they just go into this kind of rekordbox hole where you can't do anything else with them. They just live within the rekordbox app. So the best thing to do is actually get stuff into your main music player, then import it into rekordbox, because that way you can actually listen to that music on the go as well without having to use the rekordbox app. So that's my recommendation. But yeah, it's a free app. Just get it, download it, check it out. It's well worth having for those real kind of dire situations when you've got to have stuff there. And even this could be your main playback device at a push. If you wanted to do that, just have your phone with you at all times. You can just rock a set anytime, just with your phone. That's pretty cool. Now the final thing I want to talk about is going back to something from my first CDJ tip video, and that is the topic of instant doubles. Now I gave my technique of doing instant doubles in that one, and a lot of people then got in touch and said, actually you can do that with the CDJs already. It has that feature built in to duplicate across to a different deck. So this is how you do it. You turn on sync on the playing deck. So that deck is playing and I've turned sync on. That light is solid, so that means it is in beat sync mode. Likewise over on the other deck that you actually want to double to, hit sync so it's gone solid white, then push it down and hold it again, and you'll notice now this deck is loaded up. And now we've got the same track in the same position on both decks. And of course you can drop that back, so just drop it out of beat sync. And there's my doubles rocking. There are some quirks to this though. So yeah, I was really pleased that people told me this, because I'm always learning out here. But I've then played with it some more, and there are some quirks you've got to be aware of, right? So if I now hit the Q button, the big main Q button, it's gone back to the previous track. So that's something you've got to bear in mind. So let's just load it again. Likewise, let's just get it loaded. It's gone across. If I hit hotkey, you'll notice hotkey C there hasn't illuminated. And that's because if I hit hotkey A or B, again, it's gone back to the previous track that was loaded up. The only way you can then jump around within the track, so let's do it, let's load it up again. So again, we're copying across, and it's copying across fine every time. You've got to actually do a memory point, and then it will stop, and it will stay in that track you've got there. Or you've actually got to, let's do it again. Or you have to actually pause the track, and then move around to a memory point or hit Q wherever you are. So it's just quirky, and it's, you know, you might find that works better for you. For me, it's actually kind of more hassle to deal with sync on and sync off, because I don't normally use sync on the CDJs. Nothing wrong with that if you do, but I don't. And so it can be a bit confusing doing that. And the fact you have to remember, all right, if I want to go to a different point in this track, I've got to jump to a memory point anyway. So for me, my existing method of using the tag list and going across that way kind of works better for me. And if you do doubles of a particular track on a regular basis, I think that's the way to go. But for doing it on the fly, there's no reason you can't use the official kind of Pioneer DJ method. Just play with it and see which one works best for you. Thank you very much for watching today. Make sure you subscribe for all our future tips, tricks, and product reviews. I'll see you soon.